looks so good. It looks so good. If I do say so myself, it looks so good. Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl Karen, aka cakedbybabyk, and welcome back to my channel. I feel like I did that faster than usual, and I'm kind of proud of myself. So I just got back from Arizona, and following my arrival back home, I went to a disco night spontaneously, and between the heat in Arizona and between like dancing and sweating my ass off at disco night, my makeup stayed pretty well. So I want to show you guys how to achieve a long-lasting, full coverage makeup base. So that's what we're doing today. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the first step actually to getting a long-lasting makeup base is using skincare products that are going to hydrate your skin, that's gonna make your skin supple. I'm gonna list my routine down in the description because I don't wanna talk your guys' ear off with how many skincare products I use, but skin prep is so important, so I'm gonna leave it down below. We are gonna start off with primers. Let me know in the comments if you guys believe in primer or don't, because I feel like the makeup community is kind of half and half. Like, some people love primers, some people don't believe in them. I personally don't like the majority of primers. However, there are some that I just live for, and the Milk Hydro Grip Primer is one of them. There's just something about it that makes my skin grip onto whatever foundation I use, so I swear by this. Also, really important tip, after doing your skincare, you want to let it set a little bit and you want to let it sink in to your face before you dive straight into makeup. I feel like that is such an underrated tip that not a lot of people talk about. So after I have the Hydro Grip Primer all on my face, we are diving into the actual foundation routine. So here are the two products that I have been loving lately together. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter, and the foundation that I love to mix it with is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I am in the shade 6, which is Sand Beige. There is just something about this combination that is show-stopping. It is long-lasting. It is full coverage. It is everything. I think it's the fact that the Flawless Filter is so glowy and the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation is just really full coverage and more of a matte to natural finish. So using them together is just chef's kiss. I like to concentrate the Flawless Filter more on my cheeks because I do get an oily T-zone, so I'm not gonna put too much in those areas. And I'm literally gonna take like not even a full pump of foundation because this stuff is full coverage. I usually just do half a pump like this and take it on the back of my hand and just dab it in with my fingers just to get on the face. I like to blend out this combination with a brush. This foundation brush is from Milani. It is one of my favorites, and I'm just gonna go in and start stippling that. I always like to stipple and not rub because we all know rubbing is what causes the wrinkles. So I'm just blending this out, and as you can see, it's just giving all of the glow. This is what the blended base is looking like, and now we're gonna go in with our first round of setting spray. This is the Milani Make It Last. As you can tell, it's well loved. I use the crap out of this. The trick is to use this between every single layer of makeup that you're applying. So we're gonna do the first layer, and I'm talking about drenching your face in this. Another tip, you're gonna wanna slightly have that dry on your face. So I like to go in with a fan and kind of let this dry down a little bit. All right, next step is concealer. So I use two concealers, one that is a little bit more lightweight and then another that is more full coverage. So for the lightweight one, we are gonna use the Lancome Ton Idole Wear All Over Concealer. This is in the shade 320, I believe. I'm having a hard time kind of reading the shades. And I'm only gonna do this underneath my eyes because I have a hard time finding concealers that actually conceal my dark eye bags, which is why I like to do the double duty. We're gonna go in with another layer of setting spray. I like to have my concealer set down a little bit before I blend it out, which is what this fan is for. Another tip that has changed the game for me is you're going to do a couple of spritzes of setting spray on the sponge that you're gonna use to blend the concealer out. And then I like to dab a little bit of the excess on the back of my hand so it's not too wet. And this is just really going to ensure that your concealer and every other base product that you're using the sponge to blend out is going to stay in place. My foundation always rubs off in the mouth area and the chin area as well, so we're just going in with that sponge. There's like a hair stuck on my face somewhere. The worst feeling, it's itchy. Okay, I'm gonna try and find it. I found it. Okay, moving on. We are going in with the second round of concealer now. This is the Benefit Cosmetics Boing Cakeless Concealer, one of my absolute favorites. This is in the shade number 6, and it's lighter than my skin tone because I want to use it to kind of brighten up the middle of my face. And this one is more full coverage than the Lancome one that we just used. So I like to pop some right underneath the inner corner of the eyes. This is what the placement is looking like. I'm looking a little bit crazy, but once again, we're gonna hit it with some setting spray. This concealer is also another one of those that if you let it sit for a hot sec, it gets a little bit more full coverage because it dries down a bit. So we're just gonna keep doing our fan thing. Hit the sponge with more setting spray, dab the excess off, and just go to town with the blending. Make sure you're getting your eyelids, because I see a lot of people not put any makeup on their eyelids, and I feel like it just kind of makes the whole look incomplete. Now we're gonna go in with the rest of our base products. So I'm gonna do a cream, bronzer, and blush before we do powder. I'm using the Revlon Colorstay Skin Awaken 5-in-1 Concealer as my contour. This one is in the shade 70, and I find it's the perfect bronzer shade for my skin tone. It's not too harsh, and it just gives like the perfect wash of color. Not to mention this wand is just amazing for application. Y'all know the drill. Now I'm transitioning into a cream blush, which is our last cream product before we hit powder. This is the cult favorite blush from Tower 28 in the shade Magic Hour, I believe. And we're just applying this to the apples of our cheeks and blending upward into the bronzer we just laid down. Y'all, I love using my fingers sometimes for my base makeup because the warmth from your fingers just makes everything melt down so seamlessly. I love a good blush on the nose for that sun-kissed look. And I'm taking that foundation brush that we used in the beginning to blend out our base to just kind of like clean up any areas that need a little bit more refining. So like, for instance, if you put your bronzer and blush down too low, I just like to like sweep in the skin. I mean, I know I said I don't like pull, but in this instance, I feel like this method works the best. Once again, now that we have all of our products on our face, we are gonna set this down with powder. I personally cannot stand the feeling of like unset foundation on my face. It just feels super, super heavy. So I'm gonna go in with a loose powder. This one is from Maybelline. This is the Lasting Fix powder. I'm taking it on the same sponge that I have been using. We're just dabbing directly into the little bowl, directly into the powder. And as you can see, we have a lot of excess. So I'm just gonna take this and dab it on the back of my hand so it doesn't make it look cakey. And we're just gonna start setting the places that we wanna set, which is basically the whole entire face. This just gives a flawless airbrushed finish. Just look at the difference. Don't forget to set your eyelids. And for other areas of my face that I really love to pack on the powder is the mouth area and then also beneath my bronzer contour. Not necessarily like baking and carving it out, but just using the sponge to really set it in place. Just gonna add a little extra powder in this area because like I said, this is a problem area, so my foundation always breaks up here. And taking a brush and just dabbing the powder onto my forehead area. I'm lightly setting my nose because I don't want to add too much powder. My pores tend to really get clogged in this area, so I want to use as little powder as possible. All right, now that we've basically set the entire face, we're gonna go in with one last spritz. I promise you it's one last spritz because we want to kind of melt all that powder into our skin. So I promise, last one. I just realized I had like some excess powder on my chin, so I'm just gonna buff that out. All right, you guys, it is some time later because I did the rest of my makeup. I had to do my hair, which took a hot sec, but I'm back and this is what the makeup is looking like. Y'all, it looks so good. It looks so good. If I do say so myself, it looks so good. I mean, just look at how nice this base is, and it's gonna stay like this for the entire night. And if you don't believe me, look at my stories that I posted from the night that I went to the disco party. I was sweating up a storm. Yeah, like sweating buckets. It was hot in there. I was dancing, living my best life, and then at the end of the night I came home. I didn't even have like any smile line sinkage, which I usually have all the time. You guys need to try out this routine. Let me know if you do. And with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
You're purring so loud. Do you like being on camera?